Good morning. Hello, hi. It's 1st of May. Can you believe it? So, 1st of May, Pilates session, 1 hour of lengthening, strengthening, mobility, flexibility during lockdown. So, with Lucy, me. So, very quick, got to go through this just to say, please exercise safely. Make sure that you are fit enough and healthy enough and well enough, have enough space to exercise safely. So I can't supervise you directly. You have to take that decision yourself. So if it's not safe for any reason, please don't do it. If you're a total beginner to Pilates, you're going to have to consider whether you need to do a beginner's course before, because a lot of my cueing, you may not understand the terms. In fact, I'd pretty much say that you wouldn't understand the terms. So I'm going to say that you need to do my beginner's course. Now, I'm going to try and point in the right direction. It's either going to be on there or there, that it's going to come up, and the little tag is going to click on that link and you'll go straight to my Pilates playlist, beginners playlist. Right, other than that, if you feel sick, dizzy or unwell at any time, stop. Listen to your body. You might feel different today than you did the other day, so just work at the level that you're going to get the most benefit from. So no pain. We don't want that. Okay. Just miss out on exercise if it's not for you. Anyway, right, let's crack on. So we're going to be using the following equipment: potentially the yoga band, a little towel, hand towel, a couple of cans to use as hand weights. We have a Pilates mat, and we have a lot of space around us in order to do our exercises safely. So let's make a start. Now, we want to start with your feet together. Zip up through those inner thighs. So you're sort of engaging through those inner thighs to stand nice and tall. You're going to pull up that pelvic floor and you're going to pull in through the tummy so you're nice and strong in the center there. Nice and tall through the crown of the head. So just open up those toes like a ballerina and then follow with the heels so that your feet are parallel, hip distance apart. And we're gently going to roll onto the balls of the feet. Ooh, nice little click of the ankle there, and back onto your heels. So we're challenging the balance a little bit. We're shifting the weight forwards and backwards very gently, trying to connect your mind with your body now, because one of the key principles of Pilates is concentration. So we concentrate on the connection between the mind and the body. Let's take the weight over onto one side. So there's no time to think about your shopping list or things you've got to do or this horrible pandemic that is around us. There's no time for that. You have to focus on you. So let's bring the weight nice and even over both your feet. I want you to press down your big toe, your little toe. I want to press down between your big toe, your little toe, and your heels. And you'll find that you've got a little bit of a lift through the arches of your feet. Keep those knees soft. And we're just going to do some pelvic tilts. So we tuck the tailbone under and we let the tailbone go out behind you. So imagine this is my pelvis and we're tucking under and arching through the lower back as we let the tailbone go out behind you. So just working with your range of movement, being aware of any movement that might be happening in other areas of the body. So we want to try and stabilize those other areas. So if you find that you're sort of leaning back to or forwards, stabilize there and just limit the movement to the pelvis and the lumbar spine. So now we're going to find that middle point, thinking about your hip bones and your pubic bone being in alignment with each other, straight on top of each other, parallel to the wall. That's going to give you the neutral spine. So you might find that your natural stance is a little bit more arched. Well, just be aware of that now and try to correct that. So growing nice and tall now out of the crown of your head. Keep that chin parallel to the floor. We gently tuck the chin in so that we get length down the back of the neck. I don't mean fold it in. We're just bringing it along on the same level, but just drawing it back. So that lines up the spine better. So shoulders come up, press them behind you, and then gently draw them down towards your heels. So if you're trying to slide your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So we're going to pull up through the pelvic floor. And we're going to take a big belly breath in. And as you exhale, you pull that belly button in towards your spine. You can feel it moving. So we're going to hold that now. This is our center, our powerhouse. So we're nice and connected through the powerhouse as we take a deep breath into the side of the rib cage, the back of the rib cage. So take as deep a breath as you can in through the nose. And as you exhale, you force the air out through your pursed lips and pull that belly button in towards the spine, get that nice connection going again. So let's practice a few of those breaths. So it is widen to the side of the ribs. A deep breath that fills the whole of the lungs. And as you exhale, connecting again. Let's do another couple. Relaxing through the shoulders. And last breath. So we're going to mobilize the body now. So we're going to prepare to take the arms up and overhead. So just press the arms behind you. And then it's an inhale. As you lift the arms up towards the ceiling, keep the shoulders down. Exhale, we press the hands behind and turn to look over one shoulder. Inhale and exhale. So we're mobilizing the neck. We're mobilizing those shoulders. We're staying neutral and stable through the spine. So just bring those arms up as far as you're able to, but be aware what's happening to your shoulder girdle. Keep drawing the shoulder blades down. So we're trying to have a big gap between the ears and the shoulders. Let's do another couple. Finishing with those arms down by your side. Let's just relax those arms now, and we're going to do just an ear down towards your shoulder. Take a breath in. Exhale, deepen that stretch. Inhale back to the center. And exhale. Let's inhale here. And as you exhale, try to increase that stretch. And back to the center. We'll do it again on each side. Exhale, ear to shoulder. Inhale, exhale, increase that stretch. Back to the center. Other side. Be aware, again, maybe look at yourself in the mirror, because often you'll find that people are turning the head. I just want a direct ear down to the shoulder movement there. So, lovely. Now, shoulder rolls. So this is option 1. Option 2 is to place your fingertips on your shoulders, and then we do those elbow circles. Nice big movement. Try to maintain stability of the spine still. So we've got that engagement through the center. The whole of our Pilates practice is going to revolve around changing direction with those arms, keeping that core engaged, building up the strength, stabilizing the pelvis, and protecting the lower back. Let's make this last one. Bring those arms down by your side. So we're going to now mobilize the spine in a rotational manner. So keep those hips facing the front. It's a breath in. And as you exhale, just draw yourself around. Try to look over the shoulder. Let's do the other side. So we exhale as we come away from that midpoint. Inhale to return. Exhale as we rotate around. Last one. And we're going to free that movement up now. And then gently come back to that midpoint. And we're going to do some side bending next. So take a nice time to engage that core. So pull up and pull in. And it's a breath in. One arm comes up towards the ceiling, and breath in. The other arm comes up towards the ceiling. I'm going to come down onto my knees so that you can see what I'm doing with the upper body. So we've got this big beach ball in our arms. Our shoulders are drawing away from the ears. Nice pull up and pull in, and we exhale to just come over to one side. Don't let the hips shift over. We're lengthening up towards the ceiling, maybe that top corner. And then we're going to relax this arm on the outside. Just let it relax completely. Turn the palm to face away from you now. And we're slowly going to bring that arm back up until you feel that resistance of that big beach ball overhead. Draw yourself back up to the center. Again, breath in and exhale. We come over to the other side. And we're still lengthening that spine. And let that outer arm just relax. Hang nice and long and heavy like a piece of spaghetti. Then we turn the palm to face out. And let's return that arm overhead until you feel you've got that beach ball in between your hands. And we come back up to the center. Now grab two imaginary ropes from the ceiling. And we're going to draw those elbows wide as we resist those. The ropes are hard to pull down, so a little bit of resistance there. Bring those arms down to your side. Perfect. We're going to mobilize through the hip joint next. So again, we want a little bit of room around us. Maybe use something to help you balance if you need to. Back of a dining room chair or something. So let's stabilize that pelvis by pulling up and pulling in. Keep the spine in neutral. And we draw some circles on the floor. Now you can do this with a bent leg. So we're aiming to have that movement through that hip joint. We can change direction. Using the breath, make sure that you are still breathing. We never want to hold our breath in Pilates. Last one. We're going to leave that foot out behind you now. So we're going to make that spine neutral so that we tip forwards and we've got a straight diagonal line. Good pull in through the tummy now and squeeze through the bottom. And we're going to lift and tap or really lengthen that leg out behind you. Keep it hovered and pulse. Make sure those hips are square. Losing my balance today. Make sure those collarbones are nice and open and that your neck is lined up on top of your spine. So you're not looking forwards, which is going to put a bend in it. Good pull in through the tummy, keep the upper body still. Should be working here in the glutes. And we bring that knee to the front, rotate the ankle one way and back around the other. And then we can lower. Let's do the same on the other side. So nice circles on the floor. Again, bent leg or straight leg. We're just mobilizing through that hip joint and stabilizing through the spine. Relaxing through the shoulders, lengthening through the crown of the head. And let's change direction. All these points will become second nature the more you practice them. So you'll be developing that muscle memory. So if you're new to Pilates, it might just sound like I'm just going yabba, 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 yabba. Well, I am maybe, but there's a purpose for it. Let's just leave that leg behind as we tip forwards. Nice squeeze through the bottom, pull in through the tummy, and we're going to lift and tap. Or again, the option is to keep that leg hovered and pulse it. Think about the length down the back of your neck. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Nice pull in through the tummy, keep you stable. And then we're going to bring that knee to the front and we rotate the ankle one way and back round the other. And lower. Lovely. So we've mobilized the whole of the body now, pretty much. We're just going to do a balance. Really key to develop balance and maintain balance, just for everyday living, really. So we will, again, if you need to use something just to help you maintain that balance, just a very light touch on something can often make all the difference. Let's draw up one knee. Nice pull in through the tummy. So we're going to bring that foot now onto the shin, or you can bring your toe onto the floor, and then we open up through that hip. So just draw it round. Good squeeze through the bottom here as you're drawing it through. We'll take a few breaths here. Nice, strong through the center, remember. Keep you stabilized. And then we're going to take a breath in, lifting those arms up towards the ceiling, but keeping the shoulders down away from your ears. And we're going to go into a star. So we start by making a Y shape with the arms, and then we'll extend out that bent leg. So from here, this might be enough, and you might just want to lengthen those limbs, or you could gently tip over. Try to keep your raised leg in line with your torso as you tip. The arms are going to counterbalance. Don't let the arms come forward, don't tip, don't twist. Just think about opening up, staying nice and steady, and releasing off. Give that leg a little bit of a walk off. Sometimes that can feel quite difficult, quite hard to do. So we're going to draw up the other knee now. Nice pull in through the tummy. And we take a few breaths here. And let's lower that foot onto the shin, or again, we've got the toe to floor option. Open up through that hip, a little squeeze through the bottom here to draw that hip round. Nice and strong through the center, using our Pilates breathing, remember. Nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to take a nice breath in now. Keep the shoulders down. Lengthen up towards the ceiling. Feel the length at the waist. And then we're going to make a Y shape with the arms. Straighten that bent leg. Stay strong in the center. Lengthen the limbs. And then we can tip, 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 tip very gently. Lengthen those legs. And releasing off. Lovely. So let's get ready to start using the mat now. And we're going to stand at the top end of the mat, nice and tall, thinking about your Pilates posture. So nice pull in. We'll keep those knees soft. So you don't want to be locking them out, so just gently soften them. If you need to have a bit more of a bend in them, that's okay as well. If you've got tight hamstrings or tight lower back, sometimes it's just not going to work with those knees, those legs straight. So nice breath in. As you exhale, we start to round down through the vertebrae one at a time. Your hands are going to be, and arms are going to be relaxed and heavy. You can walk with fingers down your legs if you need to, but let your spine mobilize down one vertebrae at a time, coming into a forward bend. Relax at the bottom. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to start building the spine back up. We want to draw those shoulders back and down at the end. Nice and tall, ready to go again. So mobility of the spine. Really try to visualize each vertebrae coming down one by one. Relax through the head and the neck and the shoulders. Keep nice and strong through the center. We've got that nice stretch up the back of the legs. And then we're going to start restacking again. Coming back up to standing. This is our second roll down. We're going to do one more. Breath in, exhale. So we're going to stay here at the bottom of this last roll down, just to let your shoulders really relax. So let the weight of your arms and gravity pull down on the shoulder socket. Hold onto your elbows if you need to. And you're just going to move those arms about to get some movement through the shoulder. So the shoulder can do any movement, forwards, backwards, side to side, round and round. So just vary it up. You just want to feel that lovely release. And we can do the same with the neck. So you're going to nod the head as if you're saying yes. You're going to shake the head from side to side as if you're saying no. And let it be nice and relaxed. Now, for this next exercise, we've got a plank. So we can do, I'm going to very quickly show you some variations of the plank, starting with the lowest, going up to the highest, and then we're going to start. 1 minute is the target. I'll get Alexa onto that. But, you know, whatever you can do, frankly. So lowest option is going to be knees and elbows. Straight line through the body. So it's not bum up in the air. Pull that down, get a straight line, keep shoulders back away from your ears. This is option 1. Good connection through the core there. Option 2 is going to be elbows to your toes, keeping that straight line through the body. Option 3 is coming up onto your wrists, which are underneath your shoulders, and onto your knees. And option 4 is going to be toes to shoulders. So I'm just going to set Alexa up for 1 minute. Think about what level you're going to do. Focus on opening through the chest. Draw the shoulders back away from your ears. Keep your neck lined up with your spine. And good. Really fire up the core. So Alexa, set a 1 minute timer.
1 minute. Starting now.
Let's go. Use your Pilates breathing. Draw the shoulders back away from your ears. Good. Pull up and pull in. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Is your bottom poking up? Are you sinking into your shoulders? Press the mat away. Widen through the collarbones. Lengthen through the heels if you've got straight legs. Think about the alignment of your neck. Oh, and there you go. There's our minute. Relax down. Alexa, stop. There we go. Sink back onto your heels. Leave those hands overhead. We'll just ease out those shoulders. Did you do the minute? I bet you did. I bet you did. Well done. So we're going to do a rollback now, which is a classical Pilates exercise, one of the original 34 exercises, but we're going to we do modify it nowadays so that everybody can do it at some level. So I'm going to show you some of those modifications. So feet, put my teeth in. Legs are out long. We've got a nice neutral spine, sitting nice and tall. We've got that good control through the center. And we're going to start with the arms parallel. So take a breath in. We'll do a couple of rollbacks, half rollbacks to start with. As you exhale, I want you to imagine you've been punched in the belly and you're pulling your belly away. You're tucking your bottom under, making a C shape through the spine. And then we gently come down, just halfway. Keep the shoulders down. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, draw yourself back up to neutral. I'm going to go a bit more side on so that I hope you can see the shape of my spine. Press those heels down into the mat, shoulders back and down. Breath in. Exhale. I'm tucking the bottom under. I'm making that C shape. Don't let your chin come to chest. Imagine you've got a tennis ball in between. And then we come down halfway. Breath in. Exhale. Pull in here and peel back up, still in that C shape until we get back to that neutral spine. Let's do one more. Nice and slow. Tuck that bottom under. Keep the shoulders down and back. You can rise the hands up a little bit if you want. That sometimes takes the shoulders out. Back to neutral. So we can go all the way down now onto the mat. If you struggle, if you find that you are having to sort of give yourself a jolt to try and come up, place the towel hands width away from your bottom. So I'm going to do this just to demonstrate. So exhale, we come down and we're trying to lay the spine down one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slowly. The slower you go, the better. Now let's leave those arms overhead. Keep the ribs soft here. We don't lose the connection between the ribs as we bring the arms over. And then from here, we're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And when they're up towards the ceiling, we start to lift the back of the head and peel the spine up, coming back up to neutral. So that's with that towel behind you. If you can do it without, even better. So nice and slow. Now you may find that you just simply cannot come up from this lying down position. So please just carry on doing half rollbacks. Build up your strength. Peeling up. So there's no momentum. I'm just using the power of my abdominal muscles to draw me up smoothly. That's what we're aiming for. So if you have to, like I say, use momentum, then we have the option of the towel underneath your lower back, or just reverting to the half rollbacks. Nice and neutral at the end, so you'll be lengthened through the spine. Let's do another 3 or 4 of these, nice and slowly. You can, if you like, have the band and just hold on to that to keep your hands in parallel position. Gently pulling those hands apart, back up to neutral. Keep the shoulders down and back. Try to keep those legs parallel. Last 1 or 2. This is obviously strengthening up our abdominal muscles. One of these rollbacks performed in good form is the equivalent to 7 or 8 crunchies. So by the time you've done 7 or 8 rollbacks, well, you can do the maths, you've done like over 50. Let's do 1 more. Exhale, tuck the bottom under, round the spine into that C shape. Lay the spine down 1 vertebrae at a time. Imagine it is like a bicycle chain. Arms come over, keep the shoulder blades down the back. Lift up the arms as they come up towards the ceiling. We lift the back of the head, the back of the shoulders. We peel back up nice and slowly and smoothly, ready to come into neutral spine. Now I'm starting to feel those, so that's good. Let's just come down onto the mat for our 100. So just gently, watch those shoulders, keep them down. Let's come down onto the mat. We're going to have feet flat on the floor. You can do the toes out followed by your heels to make sure that your feet are roughly the correct distance apart and parallel, knees in line with your hips. Let's check our neutral spine. So we will do a diamond shape with the hands, and you're going to place your thumbs underneath your belly button, and the rest of your hands are just going to float over your lower belly. So now imagine you've got a marble in that diamond, and you're going to roll that marble down towards your fingers, and then you're going to roll that marble down towards your thumbs. Try not to move the upper part of your back. We're just mobilizing through the hips and the pelvis and the lumbar spine. And again, remember when I told you about your hip bones and your pubic bones being lined up and parallel to the wall. So what we're aiming to do is have your hip bones and your pubic bone lined up and parallel to the ceiling when we're in this position. So rolling that marble north and south, we find that middle point where we can visualize that marble just is still now, is not rolling one way or the other. And then if we had a spirit level and we placed it over your hip bones and your pubic bone, they would be level. Another little checkpoint, a flat hand gap under your lower back. That's what we're looking for. Okay, hands down by your side. So with the 100, just tuck that chin. With the 100, we have 100 arm beats. So the movement comes from the shoulder. Your elbows want to be straight but not rigid. So softly lengthening away. No wishy-washy, wobbly wrists or wibbly elbows. So the movement comes from the shoulder. Quite a large movement. Imagine we want to get the blood flowing. So sometimes I see it's down here. I mean, that's okay. But we can kind of increase that a bit. So 5 beats while you breathe in through the nose. And then turn the palms to face the ceiling, and we do 5 beats while you exhale through the mouth. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Right, and we're not started yet, by the way. So those are the arms. While we're doing the arms, we've got different positions for the legs. You choose one of them. So the first option is one leg in tabletop. Halfway through, you're going to change to the other leg to keep it balanced. Option 2 is going to be both legs in tabletop, and you'll find that you're really firing up that core to keep the spine in neutral. Option 2.5 is to have one of those legs extended, and then again halfway through you change the legs position. And option 3 is to send both legs out nice and straight. Now I do want you to be locking those legs at this point. I do want you to be straightening and strengthening and lengthening. In our straight legs there. So if you're very familiar with Pilates, you've got the option of having your head and shoulders lifted at the same time. But if you haven't done that yet, don't do that now. Okay, so let's think about where we're going to work today. So breath in, fill up the pelvic floor, exhale, scoop that belly down. Let's come into our position of choice. And we're going to breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway 3, 4, 5, change your leg 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Bring those knees in. You can have a little hug. Maybe rock from side to side and roll the head from side to side. That's the 100. Fabulous exercise. Right, let's get ready to do some bridging now. So we're just going to find our neutral spine, how we did before. So just think about that little gap under the lower back. Rest those hands down by your side. Lengthen the back of the neck, so we just tuck the chin. Now we're going to take a few breaths here, because this is also known as the relaxation position. And I want you to try and breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And every time you exhale, you're going to relax through the shoulders, the back of the head. I mean, feel where do you hold your tension? Wherever that be, identify it and use the exhale to try and relax. For me, it's the shoulders. And use the breath. Make noises as you exhale. It's actually quite satisfying. Nobody can hear you. Last breath. So we're nicely relaxed now. So let's fire up through the powerhouse. So we draw up the pelvic floor. We pull that belly button down towards the mat. And we're going to start to press down those heels. And as you're pressing the heels down, you're going to tuck your bottom up towards the ceiling and squeeze through the bottom as you peel your spine away from the mat, coming up into our shoulder bridge position. So we're aiming to have a straight line from the shoulders through the hips and out through the knees. Keep that rib cage soft. Think about just drawing it down a bit if it's flaring up towards the ceiling. So we're just going to do a hip drop today, so nothing too outrageous. So good squeeze through the bottom. Really focus on a nice bridge where we're using the glutes, not this lower back area. Press through the heels. So hands on your hip bones. We've got a nice level hips. We're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, just release one cheek and lower one hip. And then we squeeze through the bottom to bring those hips level. So it's a really tiny movement. We're activating and deactivating your glutes one at a time. And that makes one of your hips drop by about an inch or two. So it's very simple. Don't go too fast here. Really focus on what you're doing with this movement. So really squeezing to bring those hips level again, really firing up. And you'll find that as you press through the heels, you get more activation in the glutes. So this is how we've got all these different connections through the body. So really focus on that. Pressure through your heels. So really fire up those glutes. Watch those knees, don't let them flare out to the side. So we're really working through those glutes, activating them beautifully. Protecting that lower back, so stay nice and strong through the center still. We're drawing up the pelvic floor, and we are pulling the belly button in towards your spine. Such a simple movement, such a small movement, and yet there's so much actually to think about. And this is why Pilates is that mind-body connection. Last one or two, and then we're going to gently peel, returning the spine down one at a time. Excellent. So we're going to do another shoulder bridge where we're going to do some work with the shoulders, just to so make sure you've got room above, around, so that you can do some nice semicircles with those arms. Hand weights if you like. Thinking about our setup before we move the body, feet a little bit closer to the bottom than we would normally have when we do our shoulder bridging. And again, our focus is on pressing through the heels. You can almost lift your toes up if you like, take them out of the equation. Breath in. Let's start to peel that spine off again, one vertebrae at a time. So we come up into our shoulder bridge, softening those ribs, pressing those hips up towards the ceiling, sending those knees away. Take those hand weights. Let's bring those arms up towards the ceiling. So we're going to do some star arms. So we'll start with just lowering the arms to the floor 90 degrees. So think about it as being a clock. You've got one hand coming across to 3 o'clock, one hand coming across to 9 o'clock. And keep those elbows straight but not locked out. You might have a bend in them if you have issues with straightening those arms. That's fine. Have a little bend in them if you need to. But I want you to think about lengthening them away. And as your arms come down, send the arms away. So you are lengthening, making yourself as wide as you can. Exhale as you bring the arms away from the center. Inhale to return. So lengthen. And we're still pressing down through those heels, aren't we? And squeezing through those glutes. Last couple. And now we're going to change it to star arms. So by that, one of your arms is going to go to, let's say, 4 o'clock. The other one goes to 10 o'clock. Back to the center. So they're diagonals, basically. I think that's probably easier. So diagonally, one up, one down. And again, try to lengthen as you lower. Just working those chest muscles. Stay nice and strong through the center. Last couple. And then we're finally just going to finish up with some marching arms. One up, one down. 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, just to continue with the clock analogy. Try to reach up towards the ceiling, lengthening those arms, but keeping the shoulders neutral, the shoulder girdle neutral. Last couple. Keep pressing down through those heels. Final one, we're going to bring both arms overhead and then gently lower through the spine. As you do that, your arms are naturally going to want to come back to your side. Well done. So let's get rid of those weights. If you need to just draw those knees in for a hug, you can do that. Maybe bring your hands down onto your shins, open up the knees a little bit and just squash yourself into the floor. That sometimes is a really lovely stretch. Lovely. So we've got semi-supine spine twist with a leg drop now. This is really going to work on your strengthening your core and your oblique muscles as well. So semi-supine position. Now, if you find that when you're lying in your semi-supine position, we don't do this for the bridge, but we do this for other ones. So if you find that your chin sort of tends to creep up towards the ceiling, you can place the towel underneath your head just to help you get that neutral alignment of the spine. So do that if you need to. Breath in, arms are going to go wide now, lower than 90 degrees. So don't let, because we want to keep the shoulders down away from your ears. And you can do palms up towards the ceiling if you like. It's going to help you keep those shoulder blades down. Breath in, draw up the pelvic floor. Exhale, bring one leg to tabletop. Inhale, exhale, bring your second leg to tabletop. So we've got two options here. Close the knees and feet together. So option one is to do it in tabletop here. If that's going to be too difficult, you can just drop your heels down towards your bottom, maybe even touch your toes onto the mat very lightly. That's another option. It just takes the weight off a little bit. However, I'm going to demo this in tabletop, but you've got that option. So breath in, back to the clock analogy. As you exhale, We're going to bring those knees over to 10 o'clock. Keep pulling in through the tummy so you're nice and controlled. We take a breath in here. And as you exhale, we bring those knees up to 12 o'clock again, but we press the back into the mat for this. Then we lift the lower back into our neutral spine. And it's an inhale, exhale. One leg goes out long and low, stretch it away. Inhale, exhale. The other leg goes out long and low. We stay neutral in the spine. Inhale, exhale over to 2 o'clock with those knees. Breath in. Exhale, press the lower back into the mat to come up to 12. And it's an inhale, exhale, lengthen that leg away. Inhale, exhale, send the other leg out long and low. And exhale, legs come over to 10 o'clock. Breath in, exhale. So be nice and mindful as we're doing this. Use the breath. We exhale whenever you exert and you fire up that core to keep that spine in neutral. Let's just do maybe another 1 or 2 on each side. Take a break if you need to. This is really working center of your body. And exhale, legs come over to 2 o'clock. So working with your breath, you may or may not be slightly faster or slower than me. It all depends on how deep you breathe. Just remember to keep breathing. Let's make this the last one. Remember, we exhale as we come away from the center, fire up the core. Just go as long and low with those legs as you're able to maintain a neutral spine. That might not be very low with those legs. That's absolutely fine. Just make sure that you're getting the best out of this exercise by doing it in good form. Last time for those legs to go out long and low. Neutral in the spine. Excellent. Oh, I'm feeling that. Let's just hug those knees in. We're going to do a little bit of a hamstring stretch now. So grab your band. We're going to place it around one of your legs, one of your feet. Try to straighten that leg up towards the ceiling. Now, the most important bit is that it is a straight leg. So if it's bent a lot in the middle, you're going to find that you're not really engaging that hamstring. So try to straighten that leg, and that might mean that you can only come this far. That's fine. If you can get your leg up to the ceiling while it's straight, that's fine also. Make sure you're not pushing yourself off the floor with this one and getting a bit, lifting your hips. So keep the hips on the mat, straight leg up towards the ceiling as far as you can. And we're just going to find that point where we can feel the muscle is stretching. Should never be painful, should never be shaking. And we're just going to hold it there. This other leg can be bent, as we're going to use that in a minute. So lengthening this leg up towards the ceiling or away from you, so that we are imagining that it is growing up out of that hip joint. Nice breath in now. And as you exhale, just pull that stretch a little bit deeper. And now I want you just to lengthen out that bent leg. That should increase that stretch a little bit. And we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Changing that. Actually, no, sorry. Let the hand that's opposite to the leg that's in the band come out to the side. And we're going to hold the band in one hand and then just let that leg fall out to the side. Keep this opposite hip anchored on the mat. We're going to get a stretch. We're going to open up that hip and we're going to get a stretch up the inner thigh. Keep this hip anchored, keep that arm anchored. So just come as far as you're able to. And we're going to breathe into this also. So every time you exhale, just relax. Let that leg, let the weight of the leg increase that stretch. Last couple of breaths. Now use the band to help you pull that leg back up because that muscle is lengthened and weak. So now we're going to swap your hands over and draw the leg across the body. Keep those hips on the mat. So they're your anchor points, and we're just lengthening that leg away. We get that stretch up the outside of the leg here. Again, a few breaths so that you can really relax into that stretch. Again, let's come back to the center. We can swap over with those feet now. Keep this other leg bent initially, and we draw that straight leg out towards the ceiling as far as you're able to. Don't tuck the bottom on, don't sort of press through on this supporting leg. Keep the hips on the mat. And we've got that lovely stretch up the back of the leg. So we're going to relax now. Think about lengthening that leg away from you. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just pull that stretch a little bit deeper if you're able to. And we can straighten out that bent leg. And we're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open up the other arm and we bring that leg out to the side. Let the weight of the leg give you the stretch on the inner thighs. And don't forget to anchor that hip, the opposite hip, into the mat so that we're not lifting. And we're getting that nice stretch. Let's use the band to pull that leg back to the center as we go over to the other side, swapping hands. Ooh, keeping the hips on the mat. Last couple of breaths. And back to the center. So let's get rid of the band. Let's move on to our sides. We're just going to do some torpedo to strengthen up the back of the side of the body rather. So straight line through the body. Use the back edge of the mat to help you. So you've got your knees, your hips, your shoulders on top of each other. We have that lower arm reaching out underneath you. Now, if this is difficult, if you've got shoulder issues, you might want to bring that arm more forwards. And then in that case, you can bend the elbow and cradle your head with or without the towel. But if you can, bring it out in that nice straight line. So think about your face, your head, your neck, line that up so that you're looking straight ahead. And we bring this top arm just in front to support, little gap under the lower waist. When we're ready, we're going to take a breath in, fire up the powerhouse, exhale, send those feet away, and you're going to find that they lift all by themselves. So find your balance. Hold it while you inhale, exhale to lower. Breath in, ready to go again. So this is level 1. Level 2, I'm going to offer you the chance to hover those legs as you lower them. So they're not going to rest. And then next time you exhale, you're lengthening and lifting. Holding on the inhale, exhale, just to hover. You can lay that top arm across the body. It is challenging for the balance. If that's too difficult, if you find that you're just falling all over the place, then just keep that hand in front. We'll just do another 3 or 4. Exhale. Lift and lengthen. Keep that little gap under your lower waist so you are not collapsing into the mat. So you're really having to fire up the core there. Let's do one more after this. Last one. Exhale. Hold it as you inhale. And exhale to lower. Right. We're going to go straight over onto the other side because we're running out of time. Where does it go? So again, set the body up before we start moving. So we've got that little gap under the lower waist. Nice pull up and pull in. Start with the top arm just in front to support you so that we can focus on getting the movement through the legs. Breath in. Exhale. We lift and lengthen those legs. Now you might find you've got very little lift to start with, but that's fine. We are working on building up strength. You will see improvement. You've got to move to improve. Exhale to lower. Hold it when you inhale. Exhale to lift. We can lay that top arm across the body, and remember you've got the option of keeping those legs hovered, or you lower them down to rest in between breaths. So remember, exhale to move. In this exercise, we hold it while we inhale, and then we exhale to move, whether that be a lift or a lower. And we think about length through those legs and really lengthen them. Relaxing through the shoulders. Try not to hold any tension where it's not needed. So the upper body can just relax. Let's do last 2. This top arm across the body is just relaxing. It's got nothing to do. Last one, exhale. Inhale. And exhale to lower. Lovely, well done. We're going to do a sort of modified version of Swan Dive now, which is going to strengthen your back. So we're looking to strengthen your back muscles, your erector spinae muscles, but we're not looking to overwork through here. So we're going to use the towel underneath your forehead. So in order not to overwork through this area, we make sure that we don't come up too high. Let's just bring arms at 90 degrees at the shoulder, 90 degrees at the elbow. So in order to not overwork that lower back, to start the exercise, I want you just to tuck your bottom under a little bit, pull up through the pelvic floor, draw your belly button away from the mat, and we're just trying to flatten this curve a little bit, okay? So it's not much, but you'll find that you're pressing your pubic bone into the mat a little bit, just to flatten that curve. And it's a breath in, keep your forearms on the floor, and as you exhale, lengthen through the crown of the head, and we come up onto our sternum. Hold it as you inhale, and then exhale to lower. So be aware of your neck. As you lengthen through the crown of the head, you're not lifting your chin. Think about your neck being stuck on the end of your spine, and there's no bend in it, okay? Now, if you've flattened that curve a little bit, and you are, it's apt, isn't it? Flattened that curve in the lower back here by pulling in through the tummy and tucking the bottom under a little. You shouldn't have any pressure there. You should feel really quite strong. So now we're going to add some extra weight. So it's a breath in, and we lift the arms up at the same time. Again, pulling in through the tummy, hold it as you inhale, exhale to lower. You'll find that your feet will try to come off the mat a little bit. Try not to let them. Try to keep the movement in the upper body now. But it's all connected. So now we've done a few of those. There is an option just to keep doing this. Or next time, as you exhale, to lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. Hold it as you inhale. Exhale, we straighten those arms out overhead. Keep the shoulders back and down. Exhale. Fold them back into the side. Exhale to lower. I got my breathing wrong there, sorry. Breath in, exhale. Lift and lengthen. Hold it as you inhale. Now engage through the core. Exhale to lengthen. Inhale, we draw those arms back. Exhale, we return to the floor. Think of the position of your elbows. They want to be out nice and wide. To make it easier, you can have the elbows in more. Let's do a last couple of these. Remember, good connection through the core is going to protect that lower back. And I want you to lengthen through the crown of the head. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Last one. And lower. Excellent. Coming up now onto all fours. We are just going to have a little bit of a release, a little bit of a mobilizing through the spine just to finish up. So press the mat away from you. Arch your spine up towards the ceiling. Pull in through the tummy. And, oh, an ant. Arching up towards the ceiling. Then we go into cow. So drop the belly, lift the tail. Keep those shoulders back away from your ears and keep looking down at the mat. So we've got a nice long neck. And we go back into our angry cat. So just take a few breaths as you press the spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck the bottom under. Try to make a big O shape with the body. And we go back into cow. Shoulders down. Let's find a neutral spine, and we're going to walk those hands around to one side. So we get a lovely stretch up one side of the body. And let's walk those hands all the way around to the other side. Let's come back to the middle. We're going to do thread the needle next. So we draw the hand across the body, the arm across the body, lower the shoulder and reach through the gap. Back to the middle, we'll do the same on the other side. And back to the middle. Open up those knees, keep the toes together, and then just bring your hands overhead as you sink back. Just stretch out the spine. So really send your tail away in one direction and reach those arms away in the other direction. Coming back onto all fours, we've got one last roll up to standing. So pop those toes under, walk the hands back, where you're going to straighten up the legs, restacking, coming the vertebrae to come back up to standing. Nice breath in, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Press them behind you, press the hips forward, reach up towards the ceiling, and relax. Give yourselves a clap. Well done. Thank you very much. So that was our Friday Pilates session. Big tick. So you've done it. Well done. Let me know how you got on. Let me know if you enjoyed it. What did you find easy? What do you struggle with? Do you need more modifications on some of the exercises? Come and chat to me, because I'm doing these live sessions to help you all out, and let's tailor it as much as we can. All right, look forward to hearing from you. Have the rest of your Friday. Enjoy yourself, and stay safe. And I will do another live session tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So please join me. Look forward to seeing you there. Okay, bye now.